In Hamilton, there are emergency women's shelters, addiction shelters, and transitional housing for women, non-binary folks, trans women, and their children who are experiencing violence. Women's shelters do much more than offer space with a bed. Besides providing basic needs of shelter, food, clothing, and personal care items, there are various programs and resources within the shelter, but also for those living in the community. These resources include transitional support, legal advocacy, crisis counseling, case management, safety planning, child witness programs, help in finding housing, life skills, and more. The following includes information about different emergency shelters and transitional housing options for women, non-binary, trans women experiencing violence in Hamilton.
Interval House of Hamilton is an emergency shelter for women and children. It offers 22 emergency shelter beds for those fleeing violence, abuse, and human trafficking in our community. Interval House of Hamilton provides services to women, the 2S LGBTQIA+, and gender diverse individuals fleeing any sort of violence, abuse, or human trafficking in the community, and that includes both the urban and rural areas as well as the surrounding cities. Folks accessing shelter services can reach out through our 24/7 crisis line. They can walk in, they can self-refer, they can access any one of our 3 programs or work with one of our outreach workers to provide them assistance in accessing shelter as well through that route. Our first conversation with survivors when they access shelter is always about their experiences and what brought them to services. Then we create goals and plan in terms of supports needed from there. The shelter is designed with safety in mind. There's several safety features that folks can expect when they come to reside here that all aim to improve their safety during their stay with us. Our services are free, non-judgmental, and confidential. We strive to work from a trauma-informed and feminist intersectional lens. We work with interpretation services to ensure services are provided in all languages, and also have a bilingual counselor on staff who supports folks with services in French. Interval House of Hamilton offers programs through 3 different sites. Those include Victorian Friends Women's Shelter, the Women's Centre of Hamilton, and Flamborough Women's Resource Centre. Through those sites, we offer programs and services such as counseling, legal support through our legal advocates office, which is Jared's Place. We offer housing, employment, and harm reduction supports. We provide outreach services through our mobile VAW worker, our women's navigator, as well as the racialized women's outreach worker. Survivors can also access things like group counseling and peer support and have services provided to them by someone who may have lived experience as well. We also provide specific supports to women living rurally through the Flamborough Women's Resource Centre and the Women's Education and Rural Support Program.
Good Shepherd Women's Services, which includes Martha House, Mary's Place, Outreach Services, and Dorothy Day Place. At Martha House, we serve women and children who are fleeing some form of violence or who are experiencing homelessness. If a family arrives at our door, the frontline employees will greet them, bring them in, offer them something to eat or drink. We would do an assessment to make sure our facility is the safest space for that family. And then if it is, we would intake them into shelter if we had the space. And if not, we would make sure we would secure safe accommodation at another facility in the community. Sometimes people may come to the door just looking for information, so we're happy to provide that, or looking for a referral to another program. We'll connect them to the appropriate service. At Martha House, we are a 24-hour emergency shelter. However, we do have an array of different services available on site if somebody was to attend Martha House or one of our programs. So not only do we have our frontline case managers available 24 hours a day, we also have on-site child and youth workers who will work with your family. And we also have legal and family court support workers on site as well that can assist navigating the legal system, as well as housing workers that will assist in finding folks safe, affordable housing. We have violence against women counselors on site that can meet as often as you would like. We have housing support workers that will assist in finding safe spaces to go. We also have transitional housing support workers and a second stage housing program that offers transitional housing up to 2 years within the community and works with families to find safe, affordable housing during that time and work on some goals that they might have. Martha House also has a crisis line for folks who may want to reach out and may want support in the moment, but are not yet ready to leave their environment. Many of the families who access Martha House have an array of different backgrounds and diversity in different cultures. At Martha House, we're able to accommodate folks who may be new to the country, new to the system. We have interpretation services available. Our staff are available 24 hours a day to assist women and families navigate their situation, come into shelter if they're feeling unsafe, or to be referred to appropriate services.
The Native Women's Center is a women's shelter. We provide 24-hour emergency shelter services to women and children who are experiencing domestic violence, homelessness, who've been involved with human trafficking, or who are in conflict with the law. We provide shelter, emergency services, wraparound services to help women and children live violence-free lives. We want women to come here and know that when they're here every day, that they will wake up and greet the sun and have a healthy breakfast and be in a place where women are supported and given tools to live better lives. Typically, the process starts for a woman to come to our shelter with a phone call. So that phone call could be by her, it could be by a service provider. Then our staff will take them through an assessment process and to figure out what is the story and how do we support the women. Hopefully, at the end of that call, that means that the woman is coming here to safety. We just want women to know that they're in charge and we're just here to help. We also offer our transitional housing program. We offer some transitional housing support, so helping women while they're here, trying to find more sustainable permanent housing. We provide a lot of cultural services. We try really hard here at Native Women's Center, first and foremost, to do everything from an Indigenous worldview.
Inasmuch House is a 40-bed shelter for women and children who are experiencing abuse and/or homelessness. When someone is fleeing violence and contacts our shelter or comes to our door, they can expect to be met with a warm, compassionate, supportive staff member. That staff member will prioritize their safety, give them options that they can review with them, give them referrals, bring them into shelter if that's what they want, immediately do safety planning with them, be supportive of them, and get them any basic needs. Inasmuch House has a diverse range of programs that we offer to women and children, both in our residential setting and women and children who are in the community. We have a legal advocate, and they can help them through all of family court, criminal court, and immigration law processes with forms, with legal aid, going to lawyers' appointments, going to court, and helping the client navigate that very difficult system. We also have 2 transitional and housing support workers, which work with women in the shelter and with women in the community. We also have harm reduction workers. We have the physical safety of the shelter with the lockdown facility that we have, as well as our security system and our video cameras and our alarms and our panic buttons. We implemented a text line and a web-based crisis line. So through having the text line and the web-based line, we were able to get reconnected with women who needed to have support and come into shelter. What IPV survivors should know about Inasmuch House is that we believe them, they're not alone, we are here to support them, and we can help them navigate the entire process of anything that they're going through, that we have referrals and resources available to them, that we are client-centered, we are non-judgmental, and we are here to support them.
Our agency serves a wide range of individuals experiencing gendered violence and homelessness. Through YWCA Hamilton, we have housing programs that meet folks at different places on their journey, as well as programs specifically geared towards individuals who are facing intimate partner violence or gendered violence. Within Phoenix Place specifically, we support women and their children, gender diverse individuals who are seeking housing support after leaving an unsafe situation, and we can support those individuals for up to a year. So for someone who's in need of support and looking for services specifically through Phoenix Place or our transitional housing program, we are a confidential location. So something that's important for individuals to know is that we don't have folks necessarily come directly to our space for support. Often we are receiving referrals from shelters in the community or over the phones. We don't have staff on site 24/7, so that's something important to be aware of. We do have staff on site Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. that would be able to support you and ensure that we can direct you through the proper pathways to support. So if you are looking for support through Phoenix Place for housing, applications are available directly through our transitional housing support workers, which you can access either on our website at ywcahamilton.org, also through calling through and talking to one of our housing workers. Housing isn't necessarily the specific need. It might be counseling support or legal support, attending court with an individual. If that was something that you need, then we would be able to book you in. Being able to access the support you need when you need it is so critical. Our workers are really creative at being able to make that happen. The workers here really do work to ensure that folks who come here, families who come here, feel like it's their home. We have spaces that are warm and welcoming and inclusive for children, folks who are perhaps English is not their first language, individuals who identify within the 2S LGBTQ+ community. Making sure that folks feel that they are safe in our space is really important for us. Within our Department of Housing and Gender-Based Violence Services, we offer a range of services across a continuum. Our hope is really to meet the needs of survivors of violence and gendered homelessness, regardless of where they're at in their journey. We are also really pleased to be able to partner with our Immigrant and Settlement Department, and we actually offer specific gender-based violence counseling for newcomer and immigrant women. As we know that housing is such a critical need and challenge for individuals in their journey to leaving intimate partner violence, is our commitment to building women-led, women-centered spaces for families experiencing gendered violence as well as gender-diverse individuals.
We serve women in the Hamilton area that are looking for supports around their substance use concerns. We do withdrawal management, treatment, other off-site services, and included in that we have shelter space. So we have 8 shelter beds for women in the Hamilton area. Womankind serves women and women-identified folks, including non-binary individuals who are looking for supports around housing, experiencing homelessness, fleeing unsafe situations, and may or may not have the substance use coupled with that. Women who are seeking shelter with us at Womankind are asked to phone ahead. So we do a telephone screening over the phone. When they arrive, they would be met with staff. We would greet them, sit down with them, complete an admission process, give them a tour of the facility. We are housing our women together. So individuals coming are making a choice to remain abstinent during their stay. They can access our staff for support, and some of the specific programs may not be offered on site. We would support them with getting to any services that are available to them. Women who are fleeing violence should also know that Womankind is
is not an anonymous site. Our address is listed. Our staff are trained in trauma-informed care. We're well-versed with housing supports and working with housing service providers to assist women in permanent housing. Many women will call just for telephone support as well. And then if they're in need of shelter, we can pursue that with them 24/7. You can call our main line any time of day for support or access to shelter.
The following violence against women shelters in Hamilton are available to support women, non-binary folks, and trans women with or without children. Other services that support survivors of intimate partner violence. There are agencies and people that can provide information about options, but everything is your choice. To all survivors, we believe you, and you are not alone.